The Arkansas Razorbacks are entering the 2025 season with a lot to improve, and which could be the last year of Sam Pittman, and to show he still wants a job, it will all start in Week 1. Alabama and A&M will be heading to Fayetteville. The Bulldogs out of the FCS division finished 6 and 6 last year with a new first-year head coach, Sam Shade. There's not very much to get into this one. I expect Arkansas to win this one in a blowout. Week 2 will have the Hogs in a trip down to War Memorial in Little Rock versus the Red Wolves. This will be the very first time these programs will meet on the football field. This is a very sneaky good Red Wolves team, 8-5 last year with a very good special quarterback in Raynor. Even hung with Missouri last year, very close. I expect a very good year from the Red Wolves, but they won't just have enough to get the job done against the Hogs, with the Razorbacks leaving with a win. Week 3, the Hogs head on the road to Oxford facing Ole Miss. You just never know what you might give it this one. Sometimes it's a blowout by the Rebs, sometimes it's a blowout by the Hogs. But usually we are gifted with the absolute thriller. This is an early season game I would have circled on my calendar if I was a coach. The determination of this game is going to tell the season for the Hogs. Ole Miss rebounded impressively in 2024, posting back-to-back 10-win season under Lane Kiffin and unleashing the nation's number 2 scoring defense, while the offense rewrote school records for total and passing yards of 2025. A rookie QB, Austin Simmons, takes over from Jackson Dart as the Rebels reload their high-octane offense and aim to retain their elite defense. Despite significant personal turnover, I expect a hard-fought battle, but I have the Rebels walking out with a win. Week 4, the Hogs are on the road again versus the Memphis Tigers. The Memphis Tigers head into the 2025 season with high expectations after an impressive 11-2 run last year. They'll be breaking in a new quarterback, Breeden Lewis, a mobile playmaker who adds a fresh dynamic to the offense following the departure of longtime starter Seth Hegan. The team also reloaded through the transfer portal, especially on defense, where experience and speed were added to fix last year's inconsistencies. With a veteran offensive line and a favorable schedule, Memphis is in a strong position to compete for the AAC title again, and a possible make a case for the college football playoff if things break their way, but I have the Hogs leaving Memphis with a win. Tennessee comes into the 2025 season with big questions at quarterback after Nico Amalivia transferred out, but there's a lot of talent on the roster. The Vols are sorting through a QB battle, and the offense might take a few games to settle in. The defense looks solid with some key veterans returning. In Week 6, they face Arkansas that's tough and physical, but probably doesn't have the firepower to keep up for 4 quarters. If Tennessee plays clean football, they should handle business at home. Week 7. Now here is something to look forward to, Hog fans. We have never seemed to have a 3-week stretch home series, which starts versus the Aggies. Texas A&M heads into 2025 looking sharp under second-year head coach Mike Elko. Quarterback Marcel Reed takes over full-time and brings a serious dual threat potential, while Le'Veon Moss returns healthy to lead a strong backfield. The offensive line is experienced, and the defense, especially the secondary, is expected to be one of the better units in the SEC. When they travel to Fayetteville to face Arkansas, it'll be a physical, grind-out kind of game, but I believe the Hogs sneak out with an upset win. Auburn's heading into the 2025 season with some real optimism under Coach Hugh Freeze. They got a new QB, Jackson Arnold, coming in from Oklahoma, and even though he's had a rough go there, folks are expecting him to bring some fire to the Tigers' offense. The roster is revamped, and they're looking to climb back up into the top of the SEC. This is going to be a real hard-fought, tough game, but I have the Hogs leaving with a win. Week 9, Mississippi State is heading into the 2025 season with a bunch of new players and some fresh energy under Coach Jeff Lebby, who is in his second year. They're still figuring things out after a rough 2024, especially on offense with a revamped offensive line and some new wideouts to watch. When they face the Hogs, it's going to be a tough matchup. Arkansas has a really solid defense and a balanced offense, so I'm going to lean with the Razorbacks pulling away with the win. So at this point in the video, I have the Hogs at 7-3. Now is when you start to get a lot of eyes on the Hogs and a lot of hype, but you have a tough challenge coming up in these next 2 weeks, with the first being against the LSU Tigers. Week 10, LSU enters 2025 with some buzz around a talented but still young roster. They've got promising skill players on offense and a defense that's expected to be tough, but has some question marks in the secondary. Coach Brian Kelly is aiming to get the Tigers back to consistent SEC contention after a bit of a rebuilding stretch. When LSU faces Arkansas, it'll be a physical, competitive game. Both of these teams love to run the ball and have a controlled tempo, but LSU's edge and playmakers and coaching experience should help them pull off with a close win. Week 11, Texas kicks off the 2025 season with high hopes led by QB Arch Manning, who's finally taking the reins after backing up last year. They returned 12 starters, including linebacker Anthony Hill Jr., who led the team over with 90 tackles last season, and defensive back Michael Taffy, a key player in their secondary. The offense is still adjusting, especially with a revamped offensive line and new receivers, but I have Texas taking this one, sending us into Week 12. Week 12, Missouri enters the 2025 season looking to build on some momentum under coach Eli Drinkwitz. They returned 10 starters, including QB Sam Horn, who threw for 2,400 yards and 18 touchdowns last year. The running game is solid too, with QB Marcus Sims rushing for over 700 yards. Defensively, linebacker Jordan Evans led the team with 95 tackles, and the Tigers hope to tighten up their secondary after giving up 250 passing yards per game in 2024. When Missouri faces Arkansas, it will be a tough battle. I believe Arkansas has a really strong defense, and it will be a very close game. I'm thinking Missouri puts up a fight but fails short, with Arkansas winning. All right, and with that, despite having one of the hardest schedules in the country, I have the Hogs finishing 7-5 on the year. Thank you for watching, and let me know your predictions in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe for more Razorback content, and go Hogs!